Thanks for selling your car to Carvana. Here's your check.
Whoa, when did I get here?
What do you mean?
I swear it was just moments ago that I accepted a great offer from Carvana online. I must have time traveled to the future.
It was just moments ago. We do same-day pickup. Here's your check for that great offer.
It is the future.
It's the present and just the convenience of Carvana. Sorry to blow your mind.
It's all good. Happens all the time.
Sell your car the convenient way to
Carvana.
Pickup times may vary and fees may apply.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A stat that I've mentioned before, 240 million. That's roughly the amount of 911 calls that are placed in America in a year. Of those 240 million, a significant portion of them are missed dials or butt dials. It happens way more than you think. Most of the calls placed are for police response. Depending on the year, somewhere between 20 and 40 million are for medics. Anything from wrecks with injuries to normal medical calls like chest and back pain, various traumas like someone falling down or bicycle accidents, and yes, even calls that are related to crimes like assaults, shootings, and stabbings. Today, I have one strange medical incident, one that where the call to police actually starts at a hospital. Welcome back to Music City 911.
Hello, what address do you need the police?
This is Dr. Chris Webster calling from Leongatha Hospital, and I have a concern regarding a patient that presented here earlier but has left the building and is potentially exposed to a fatal toxin from mushroom poisoning, and I've tried several times to get hold of her on her mobile phone.
So, before I get all that information in, what address do you need the police to attend, Dr. Chris?
Yeah, should I give the hospital address or the address of the patient?
If you know where they are, their address.
I have the address of the patient.
Yeah, go ahead with that.
Okay, 84 Gibson, Gibson Street.
Is that in Leongatha?
Leongatha 3953.
Thank you. Yeah. So 84 Gibson Street, Leongatha, Victoria. The nearest intersection is Worthy Street, is that correct?
I'd have to get Google Maps up, but yes, I would say that sounds right. That sounds like a street in Leongatha. Yeah.
What's her name?
So the last name is Patterson, Patterson.
First name?
Erin, Erin.
Did you have a date of birth?
30th of September, 1974.
When did she present at hospital?
At 8:05.
Today?
Yeah.
Mushroom poisoning, you said?
Yeah, so there were 5 people that ate a meal on Saturday, and 2 of them are in intensive care at Dandenong Hospital. 2 have just been transferred from Leongatha Hospital to Dandenong Hospital, and Erin presented this morning with symptoms of poisoning.
Bear with me. And what happened when she presented? She just got up and left?
No, there was time for the nurse to begin observations, and I was managing the other critically unwell patient, so I had a brief chat to her about where the mushrooms were obtained, and after that, while I was attending the other patients, the nurse informed me that she had discharged herself against medical advice. So I don't know exactly. Oh, we've got a form here. Hang on, tell me what time she left. No, it doesn't have a time. She left at 10 past. She was only here for 5 minutes.
Okay. Bear with me here. This is her Erin's home address.
Yes, 84 Gibson Street is Erin Patterson's home address. That's correct.
And just to clarify, you said there were 4 other people who ate the same meal. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the meal was consumed by 5 people, and 4 of those people are now hospitalised, and Erin presented this morning.
And it was at Leongatha and Dandenong Hospital, is that right?
The initial presentation for 2 of the patients was Currumbara Hospital, which is part of the same health network as Leongatha Hospital at Gippsland Southern Health, but all the patients are now at Dandenong Hospital or in transit to Dandenong Hospital.
Do you have a phone number?
Yes. 0468
Yep.
331
Yep.
783.
Okay, yep. I've got the police notified for 84 Gibson Street, Leongatha in Victoria. Would you like them to contact you with an outcome?
Yes, I'd be happy for them to contact me at any time on the mobile number. Okay, thank you very much for your help.
Thanks, all the best.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
Calls such as this are not very frequent, but they do come in to dispatch from time to time. People sometimes, against medical advice, after seeking initial medical attention, decide to leave the hospital. This one, because of being potentially exposed to a dangerous or deadly toxin, possibly a very harmful mushroom. There were others, 4 of them, that had also had the same meal. All were complaining of severe abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. The other 4 that didn't leave the hospital remained admitted to seek medical help, while the woman the doctor was calling about, Erin Patterson, had left, even though she was saying she had similar symptoms as the others. What was it that sent all of them to the hospital? That takes a bit of backing up in time to explain. Erin Patterson contacted her mother and father-in-law, a pair of their close friends, as well as her estranged husband, to lunch on July 29th of 2023. She wanted to do so to make an announcement that she had a medical issue that she would have to address and that she might not be able to host a special lunch gathering for some time. The medical issue was cancer. She decided she wanted to make a good meal for everyone, beef Wellington. After lunch was over, a few hours later, everyone started feeling ill. The next day, everyone turned up at the Leongatha Hospital in Victoria, Australia. The 4 people that attended the lunch, 70-year-old Gail Patterson, her father-in-law Don Patterson, a pair of their friends, Heather Wilkinson, age 66, and Ian Wilkinson, also age 70. Erin's husband wasn't a part of this as he canceled on the lunch just before it was to happen. Erin also went to the hospital, but after doctors wanted to transfer her to a larger, more well-equipped hospital, Erin left. The doctor then called police. Before police could reach her, she returned to the hospital, stating that she wanted to go home to feed her pets and pack a bag. 5 days after the lunch, Gail and Heather were both dead from organ failure, mainly their livers. The day after that, despite receiving an emergency liver transplant, Don Patterson also died. The 4th patient, Ian, was in the hospital over 7 weeks, but survived. He was discharged in late September. Following the initial 2 deaths, police started to investigate what happened. Before the deaths, and before the patients were transferred to a different hospital, tests were run at the initial hospital, with the doctor thinking it was some sort of mass food poisoning, with the meat being the culprit. Beef Wellington, for those of you who are unaware of what it is, it's generally a full beef fillet, cooked then covered with a pastry using a mushroomed excel as a binder between the beef and the pastry. It's then put in the oven to get the pastry crisp, yet fluffy. After the tests were run, it was found that the patients had ingested a very powerful and potentially deadly mushroom, the death cap mushroom. Being that Erin prepared the meal, Not only did police want to know more about what happened, the local health department also wanted some information. Erin had told them the mushrooms she used came from the local supermarket, and that after preparing the Duxelle for the beef Wellington, it didn't quite have a strong enough mushroom taste to it. So she decided to use some dried mushrooms she had purchased at an Asian market. Being that the local supermarket, a Woolworths, had followed strict health guidelines, health officials believed the dried mushrooms could have been the death cap mushrooms. This obviously caused a heavy concern because there could be a small market selling deadly mushrooms to the public, which could cause more illness and death. Erin's hospital stay wasn't nearly as bad as the rest. She stated that the reason for this was orange cake, another dish she had served for the lunch that day. For a long time, Erin had struggled with weight problems. She was a larger woman, but over time, she became bulimic. She would eat a large amount of food, then later vomit it back up. She stated that she had eaten a slice of cake, then another, and then more after that. She vomited, and she believed that most of her lunch came up with it, which she thought might have saved her from becoming as ill as the others. Days after the deaths, on August 14th, police called Erin into their station for a formal interview. I have a portion of this interview, and we'll play it now. The audio quality isn't the best, with some audible electronic interference type noises in the background, but even with that, I'll still want you to listen very carefully to the questions and the answers. They hold a key to a lot of what happened. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of unlimited service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Keep your current phone, number, and contacts with any Mint Mobile plan. The quality of service, in addition to the ultra-affordable phone plans, are the reasons I'll be switching to Mint Mobile. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/MC911. That's mintmobile.com/MC911. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
This episode is brought to you by Dogfish Head Craft Brewery. The Grateful Dead and Dogfish Head have gotten the band back together with the release of Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale, a light-bodied pale ale brewed with sustainable Kernza grains, granola, and heaps of good karma for a refreshing brew that's music to your taste buds. Available nationwide. Visit dogfish.com to find Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale in your neck of the woods. Dogfish Head Craft Brewery is located in Milton, Delaware. Please drink responsibly.
And are you of Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander descent?
No.
Okay. Right. Now, as we discussed earlier, and we've been together for a few hours now. It was after 11:30 that we came to your house today. We want to discuss the deaths of Heather Wilkinson and Gail Patterson today with you. When we were at the house earlier, we discussed that you hadn't really been kept in the loop, and it come as news to you that Heather and Gail had both passed away. Following eating at your house, Donald, Ian, Gail and Heather all become so ill that they ultimately ended up in the intensive care unit at both the Dandenong Hospital and then moved to the Austin Hospital. Right. Following that, they had a deterioration in their condition, and that they become so ill that their livers have failed. Right? Donald underwent transplant last night. Okay, and his condition is still extremely critical as of last report. Heather and Gail passed away. Right. In relation to Ian, I don't have a current prognosis in relation to where he's at. As of late yesterday, the diagnosis isn't great for him either. Right. We're trying to understand what has made them so ill. You understand?
Yeah.
While we're asking these questions.
Yeah.
Conversely, we're trying to understand why you're not that ill. Okay. So you understand why we're interviewing you today?
Yeah, I do. But I'm sure you understand too that, like, I've never been in a situation like this before, and I've been very, very helpful with the health department through the week because I wanted to help that side of things as much as possible because I do want to know what happened. So I've given them as much information as they've asked for and offered up all the food and all the information about where the food came from.
No, I fully understand that.
Yeah.
All right. At the house, and I must say, for the record again, you were very helpful at the house and you did point out a couple of things for us that will help us with our investigation. Mainly the fruit platter that you said Heather bought for you and the gravy in the fridge in the pantry that you said was from the night and you kept on advice from the health department. So thank you for that. You also pointed out a recipe book on the counter and you referred me to page 250 odd, a recipe for beef Wellington that you indicated was the recipe that you cooked. Okay. All right, on what we saw at your address in Leongatha. We didn't see a lot of food from Asian grocers or Indian grocers or those kind of stores.
To look in my fridge, I've got a lot of Asian cooking stuff in my fridge.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are we likely to find more of that kind of stuff in your Mount Waverley address, do you think, or?
No, because I did a big clean out of the pantry and fridge the last time that I was there because I want to sell that place.
Okay. All right.
So the pantry and fridge there will be empty.
Okay. So you want to sell that place? All right, no problem. Obviously, we've got concerns in relation to these mushrooms and where they've come from. Okay. Is that something you've done in the past, foraging for the mushrooms or anything like that? Never?
Never.
Right. Do you preserve foods or anything like that?
No.
Have you ever dehydrated food or anything like that? Okay. You've described to me relationship with your ex-partner Simon. Right. I'd like to understand why you had his parents and his uncle and auntie over for lunch on the 29th of July.
Because I've got no other family, so they're the only support I've got.
Okay.
Left, and they've always been really good to me.
Yeah.
And I want to maintain those relationships with them, in spite of what's happened with Simon.
Yep. Okay.
I love them a lot. They've always been really good to me, and they always said to me that they would support me with love and emotional support, even though Simon and I were separated, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Because my parents are both gone.
Yeah.
My grandparents are all gone. They're the only family that I've got.
Yeah.
And they're the only grandparents that my children have, and I want them to stay in my kids' life.
Yeah.
And that's really important to me. And I think Simon hated that I still had a relationship with his parents, but I love them.
Yeah.
Nothing that's ever happened between us, nothing he's ever done to me will change the fact that they're good, decent people that have never done anything wrong by me ever.
So we've been told that on the 31st of July, so 2 days after the lunch, you went to the Leongatha Hospital, okay, and that you were only there for about 5 minutes and then you left. Can you explain why you went there for 5 minutes?
Yeah, because I just went there thinking I needed a couple of bags of saline because I was really dehydrated. And they said, we want to admit you and send you to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And when you've got animals at home,
yeah,
and children who have multiple after-school activities, you can't just be told to drop everything and you're off to Melbourne for overnight. So I had to go home and feed the animals and pack my daughter's ballet bag.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I went back.
Okay. Who did you speak to?
So I walked in,
yep,
and there was like, I don't think they were a nurse. It was like, I don't know, it could have been an enrolled nurse, or it was like a helper person in the triage room,
yeah,
right? And she's just like, are you okay? And I said, well, no, I have to run to the toilet. I've got diarrhea. And she wasn't quite sure where it was, and so she went and found out and showed me where it was. And then she said, I'll go and find someone, I'll get a nurse or a doctor for you. And so I went to the toilet, I came back out, and I was waiting in the triage area, and then a doctor came out, Dr. Webster, and he said to me, sorry, that we're going to be a little while because we've got a couple of critical patients in the hospital. And I said, that's fine, don't worry about me, I'm just a gastro case. I'm not urgent, obviously. And he said, oh, what's your name? And I said, Erin. And he said, oh, we've been expecting you because other people that you ate with on Saturday were sick.
Yeah.
And he said, can you come through? And I said, sure. And I came in. And then he said to me, I can't say the exact words, but he said something along the lines of, we've got a concern they've eaten death cap mushrooms. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, that's what we think they've eaten.
Yep.
And then he started asking me about what food I served them, and I told him.
All right. I understand you went down to the hospital and got treatment and that. What kind of treatment did you get?
Oh, they hooked me up to a drip.
A drip?
Yeah. They said that because we're concerned. So Dr. Webster had to leave. I think he was at the end of his shift, and he passed on to another doctor, Dr. Foote. And she said to me, because the concern is that everybody's eaten something that hurts your liver, we need to give you this protective medicine. And so there was saline and acetyl something or other. I don't know what it was. But she said, we need to give you this and then put you in an ambulance up to Melbourne where they can give you more, I don't know what the word is, more where they can care for you better. Yeah. So I got saline and this other stuff and went in an ambulance up.
Okay. How long were you in the hospital for in Melbourne?
Till Tuesday afternoon.
That's Monday, Tuesday. All right. And again, for full disclosure, so you understand, we've obtained warrants in relation to medical records for everyone involved in this, and so we will get medical records in relation to your treatment there as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
You were at home and present when we did a search warrant today, all right? I know you weren't watching everyone at all the time, but I just want to go through on tape some of the stuff we've, and like I said, we'll give you a copy of this, everything we've seized. Kitchen, far left bottom drawer, instruction manual for a Sunbeam Food Lab electronic dehydrator. What's that in relation to? Do you know anything about a dehydrator in your house? Or? Okay. Do you own a dehydrator?
No.
Okay.
I've got manuals of lots of stuff I've collected over the years. I've had all sorts of appliances and I just keep them all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When did you own a dehydrator?
I don't know, I might have had one years ago.
Okay. What did you use that for?
Like when I first got the Thermomix, I got really excited about like making everything from scratch, you know, and I did a lot of, you know, like everything from scratch ingredients, and I did a lot of that, so I could have had something like that.
Okay. Kitchen bench located against the wall, recipe tin eats book. Okay, I'm not sure.
That's that recipe book.
That's that same book that the Wellington recipe come out of? Yeah. Right. From the fridge, we got the fruit salad platter, which you pointed out. Then in the fridge in the butler's pantry, we got the white jug containing the brown liquid, which you pointed out as well. So thank you for that. From the study, we took the computer, we took another computer, and we took another computer. Right. In the lounge, we grabbed an iPad in a black and red case. From the room, we've grabbed a computer.
That would be an old one I had up in the top of this cupboard. That's a very old one.
Alright, so that, if I had to prioritise, that would be the bottom of the list.
I don't think anyone's powered that one from fairly.
Okay, alright, no dramas, alright, so we'll pop that one at the back of the list. Alright. A black mobile phone, which again I'll prioritise tomorrow for you.
Thank you.
Upstairs bedroom 2, far left towards backyard. Says Erin's bedroom, so I assume that's yours. Apple iPad.
I don't own any iPads, but they would be tablets, Android tablets.
Oh, okay. There's a Samsung tablet listed below that, located on top of the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they've got it wrong, that it's not an iPad, it's some other tablet. Samsung tablet. An Oppo mobile phone. And your mobile phone. Alright, so... And so you said a black mobile phone earlier. So that would be a Nokia. It's a really old Nokia that I've got for, like, you know, if you break your phone and you got to send it away from repair and you need... So I've got this, like, really old thing. So... that's right. Your mobile phone would be the top. And then we're talking about his school computer, followed by
the GeoForce one.
The GeoForce one.
Yeah.
David,
one thing I wanted to clarify to make sure I've got it right. You obviously have been taking notes. When you went to the Lee and Gafford Hospital and you said you went in there and you got shown to the toilet, but you said you had to go home to pack stuff and your daughter's bag and that sort of thing to feed the animals. When you had the conversation with Dr. Webster, was that when you first went there or afterwards?
I don't remember.
That's all right. The other thing that I should have mentioned that, again, to your credit, police went around your house on that morning. Yep. On the 31st.
Right.
Yep. And they were obviously responding to the hospital call to check up on you.
Yep.
And they spoke to you on the phone. And you gave them the PIN code for your gate.
Correct.
And directed them to the bin where there were some leftovers.
Correct.
What are those leftovers that you directed them to?
They were the uneaten food from the lunch.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So you helped them in getting that so it could be sampled.
Because my kids ate the meal too. Yeah. But there was stuff that was left over, and it went straight in the bin. And so when I went to the hospital and they said they were concerned that everyone ate some contaminated food, I said, well, there's the leftovers in the bin, you can have it. Feel free to look through it.
Yep.
And I said, I'll go and get it if you want. And they said, well, that's fine, you need to go on a drip. We'll call the police. And I said, well, that's fine, just let them know I need to give them a PIN code.
Yep.
So they did that, and a bag of food appeared a bit later.
Yep.
So
yeah.
Yep.
So thank you for helping us locate that.
It's fine.
All right. Anything else, Dave? No. All right. Any questions at the moment?
No.
All right. Erin, do you agree the time is now 5:30 p.m. by my watch?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to suspend the interview now.
Today in McDonaldland News, Mount McDonaldland is experiencing thick volcanic shake activity. So try the new Mount McDonaldland shake when you order the McDonaldland meal with your very own character souvenir kit.
A McDonald's, in McDonaldland, get the McDonaldland meal in McDonaldland.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Wayfair. Podcasts follow us everywhere. Whether you're cooking in the kitchen, chilling in the living room, or pretending to fold laundry in the bedroom. And with Wayfair, every one of those rooms can tell a story of its own. Their curated collections of furniture styles and prices make Wayfair the trusted destination to turn your home into your happy place. Shop everything home at wayfair.com with free and easy delivery straight to your door.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Ford Blue Cruise hands-free highway driving takes the work out of being behind the wheel, allowing you to relax and reconnect, while also staying in control. Enjoy the drive in Blue Cruise-enabled vehicles like the F-150, Explorer, and Mustang Mach-E. Available feature on equipped vehicles. Terms apply. Does not replace safe driving. See Ford.com/BlueCruise for more details.
Police had established and investigated certain things before the interview, and they already had an idea of what happened. They believed that this was no accidental food poisoning. They believed it was a very precise, calculated murder. And the murder weapon? Beef Wellington. Going back several years before this, Erin had grown up in the southeastern portion of Melbourne. She went to the University of Melbourne and trained to be an air traffic controller. She worked that job for a little over a year and a half before working in animal management. In 2004, she began dating a man named Simon Patterson. They married in 2007 and later had 2 children, a son and a daughter. Before Erin and Simon married, her grandmother passed away and left her $2 million, which was to be distributed to her over the course of 8 years. In 2019, her mother died. This was 8 years after her father died. From that, Erin and her sister inherited her parents' estate, part of which was a beachfront retirement home. Shortly after the birth of their first child, Simon and Erin began to have problems. They had some short separations and then a long one starting in 2015. They shared custody of the children, but the relationship between the two never really improved. During the police investigation and interview, as you've just heard, several items were confiscated as evidence, a tablet as well as a phone. While looking into Erin's internet history, a lot of peculiar things started popping up. Erin stated that she had bought the mushrooms at an Asian market, but then said it was months before and that she couldn't remember where. That was one of the first oddities. Her financial records from her bank showed that she had not purchased anything from an Asian market. Her internet searches and some groups that she was a part of online showed this was likely not true. She had several searches for death cap mushrooms. In the police interview, she also said that she did not own a dehydrator that was used to dehydrate mushrooms. It was found that she had posted pictures of a dehydrator with mushrooms in it. She later claimed that she did actually have one, but that she used it to dry up and ground down other types of mushrooms to add to her children's food being that they didn't like mushrooms, and Erin believed they actually had great health benefits. She stated that after the deaths of her in-laws, she had thrown the dehydrator away in a trash facility because she became nervous after people around her started saying she had poisoned the lunch guests. Other problems with Erin's story to police, both formal and informal. She had stated that the cancer she had been diagnosed with was ovarian cancer. Police searched her medical records and found nothing as to any sort of diagnosis of cancer. Police believe she used the story to get everyone together to poison and kill them all. Several other things were found out, and police arrested her on the suspicion of murder and attempted murder of all in attendance to the lunch. Her trial didn't start until this year on April 29th. Erin, of course, stayed by her claim that this was simply an accident, but during the 11-week trial, a lot of what I mentioned, as well as other items, came up and were easily refuted by prosecution, one of which came back to Erin's original claim of having cancer, that the reason she had gathered everyone in the first place. She later tried to go back on that story, stating that she actually didn't have cancer at all, but was having another medical procedure done, and that she was embarrassed to admit what it was. She was actually having gastric surgery for weight loss. She stated that she was doing this at a clinic called Enrich. The Enrich Clinic never offered any sort of procedure like that, being that they are a dermatology clinic that does things like laser skin treatments. During the police interview you listened to, they had asked Erin if she had ever foraged for mushrooms. Her reply, never. Earlier in the year, she had visited a website called iNaturalist, which is a place people post pictures and report sightings of various plants and mushrooms. The sightings can be mapped out. This is done so people can go and search for the different types of plants. It's also used as a cautionary warning to steer clear of trying to forage dangerous plants or mushrooms. Erin's cell phone location data shows her being in the exact area where death cap mushrooms were found and posted on that website. 2 hours later, after she was at the spot where death caps were located, she bought a food dehydrator. Another contrast she had goes back to how sick she was after eating the same beef Wellington everyone else did. She said she was going to a location approximately 90 minutes away and had to stop multiple times because of diarrhea. She stated she stopped at a gas station along the way to use her bathroom. That part actually wasn't a lie. She did stop at a gas station. What was a lie was most likely what she was doing in the bathroom. Security cameras in the store showed her go into the bathroom, then she exits the bathroom 9 seconds later. I don't know about you, but I'm reasonably sure it would be pretty difficult to do that sort of business in 9 seconds. The last important thing presented in court, and this was potentially a very important point. Ian Wilkerson, the lone survivor of the lunch other than Erin, stated that he had noticed that out of the 5 people served at the dinner, the 4 guests were all served their meals on gray plates that matched. Erin had a different colored plate, likely as an indicator to herself which plate had the poison mushrooms and which had the safe meal. The actual trial lasted 9 weeks and jury deliberations another 2. On July 7th, 2025, Erin Patterson was convicted on all counts. Even though the trial has been over for more than a month, details that were previously sealed from the trial are just now being released. One also very important bit of info that was in some of those court documents. Erin's husband, Simon, stated that on 3 separate occasions, Erin tried to poison him, with the worst coming when Erin made a curry for a camping trip. Simon initially thought that she had just made it too spicy. He went to the hospital with GI symptoms, but was discharged. Days after that, though, the issues continued, and Simon had called for help to the bathroom. He stated the next thing he remembered was waking up in the hospital. He was in a coma and had multiple surgeries, one to remove a portion of his bowels. In total, he spent 24 days in the hospital. Tests were run, but couldn't be determined exactly that he was poisoned. it's possible after some of the further research that Erin will face attempted murder charges for that as well. Sentencing hasn't been issued, but she will likely be given life in prison. That's going to do it for this one. What an absolutely weird world we live in, that lunch can mean murder. Follow the show on all social media, all of which are listed in the show notes. Head over to patreon.com/MusicCity911 for ad-free episodes and more Music City 911 content. And above all else, help the show out by sharing it with someone you know. Send them a text or email with a link to MusicCity911.com or to your favorite episode. Until next time, for Music City 911, I'm Brandon, and y'all have a good one.